Hello everyone, and welcome to another Bloons Tower Defense 6 stream. This time I am joined by my brother, and we'll be playing co-op
So
together.
when's the next tier 6?
It's a weird thing with that. They announced everything about the next update already. Exactly everything on it. They've kept on pushing about it. And then they're like, okay, today they released an announcement saying that, what do you call it? They have not set a date for the next update yet. AKA they're having issues with some of the parts of the update.
Oh.
Yeah. But what I was thinking for a while, and a lot of people else was thinking, was when this current collection event ended, is when it would start. So in 3 more days.
Okay.
Though a lot of people thought it would be much earlier than that.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the stream up now, so let's see.
You just tell me what the match code is gonna be.
Yep. Okay, there's no daily challenge set up, so not gonna be that. Okay, got this one. Let's see. Play social, create match. The match code is XRVMCD. Okay. Let's see. You have any opinion on any of the maps?
Oh, no, not really.
Okay. Any opinion on difficulty?
Something medium difficulty, nothing like too crazy hard. It can be higher in levels, it just can't be. I just don't want something where we're gonna be like, oh man, restart.
Okay. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I have to actually change this.
The store is open. Geraldo, at your service.
Are we going to put any restrictions on what towers we can use?
No, not really.
Okay.
If you want to send me money, I go try to get my dude too. I have the money dude. I will need that to go like one wave.
I've been waiting for you.
Maybe 2 waves.
Welcome back.
What does that guy do?
Everything. He has a shop that you can spend money to get a bunch of stuff in. And those things really cover a huge variety of things they can do.
Dude, are we not getting bonus money in between rounds?
No, we are. Just it's split between us.
Oh. So we both got like good chunks.
Let's see what we can do
Longer
here.
than it was supposed to.
Yep.
Yes, my friend.
Okay. So Gerardo here, the hero that I'm using, he has a shop that as he levels up, opens up more options, more things you can buy in the shop, and some of his levels up actually improves these things that you can buy as well.
Yes, my friend. Haha. Ah, there you are.
Let's see. Currently, the things I can
Yes,
buy
my
from
friend.
him are a shooty turret, a permanent handcrafted dart shooting turret, a stack of old nails. That's when you just place nails on the track, wherever. The creepy idol, which place a spooky looking idol near the track to scare some balloons back where they came from. Essentially just makes some balloons go backwards for a small bit. Then jar of pickles. Tries these pickles on one of your monkey towers and it will hit harder but shoot slower for a while. Then tube of Omeza glue. Truly amazing. Apply a tube of this modern marvel anywhere on the track and watch the next bunch of balloons. Watch the next bunch of balloons slow right down.
Awesome.
Let's see what else there.
Yes, my friend.
Next one is C invisibility potion. Whatever monkey you gift this with, whatever monkey you gift with this, extremely efficient. I can't even read what that word says. It'll let them see camo balloons for a period of time.
Oh, nice.
Then there is the Sharpening Stone. Sharpens darts, so anything that uses darts or blades will be sharper. And they'll have more PS, I believe. And then the last one I currently have in stock is Rare Quincy action figure. It's something you buy, and as the rounds go on, it becomes more and more expensive. So when you eventually sell it, it'll be sold for more money. I bought it for 1,400, and if I sold it right now, I'd be selling it for 4,800. Okay, time for me to actually play something.
Clean up on aisle 7.
No, I just
Awesome.
I just was able to get this guy stronger. Should I do more on the camo side or the stuff that pop like the lead balloons in my ship?
From the look of it, the ship, I would give it.
Camo.
The store
No,
is
I would give
open.
it the ability to pop lead balloons. Because the way you go into top path, the range doesn't matter. So the only thing you'd be gaining from the bottom path would be the camo detection. And we can get that to a village anyway. Exactly why I'm saying this thing right now.
Well, I guess time to save up to... Oh, you don't have the thing, the actually cohesive glue?
I
You
just
have
put it
one?
on.
Oh,
Which I've learned that cohesive glue, that path is actually probably the worst path now. Because the
why?
bottom path, the one that focuses mainly on slowing down Moabs, also enables it to destroy balloons as well. So I'm like, it's probably the best one early game, but it's the worst one late game.
Ah,
And just so you know, the action figure I bought for 1,400 early on is now worth 14,000 if I sold it.
Jesus.
Yeah. Alright, so you want to talk about Thor?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just in case anyone watching the stream or the video when it actually is posted on YouTube, spoiler warning for Thor. Watch it before you continue watching this because it's a good movie. Okay. So first things first. Did you like Thor?
That was a good movie. I put it in the same category as like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's anywhere like Infinity War, Endgame, No Way Home, Black Panther,
Doctor Strange 2.
Doctor Strange. But yeah, Doctor Strange 2 is a little better. I definitely, I still liked it. I think Thor 1 is the best Thor.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It was still good. It's
I've
one of those
been
movies that I would
waiting for
definitely recommend seeing.
Yes, my friend?
I feel like upgrading your Dart Monkey for you. Right?
Yes, my friend.
Guys?
That's one way to do it.
Oh yeah. Got two more items in Drado's shop. There is the Blade Trap.
Alright, why is he now
Ah,
a super...
there you are.
That was what I was going to say. First off, Blade Trap is basically the tack shooter's middle path that you just place on the track somewhere. Yeah, I'll just show you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dude.
Why, hello.
And once a balloon get up to it that you can see. Okay.
Getting up
Oh,
on
we
aisle
lost.
7.
Oh. We need...
Camera
I have
protection, yeah.
something new.
I'll place something down for that.
I'll get down here.
Okay.
Which path is it? It's middle.
Yeah.
I'll do that first. Then I'll work on other stuff.
But yeah, Drado's.
I've been waiting
Just
for
slow
you.
down for a second so I can talk about that. Drado's shop. There's three things in it. The Blade Trap, which I've shown you, basically does a blade maelstrom, the one that shoots blades everywhere and lets you place on the trap or on the track once. Then the thing I use on the
Why,
Super
hello.
Monkey, no, the Dart Monkey is called the Worn Hero's Cape. All heroes wear capes. Give this to one of your Dart Monkeys and watch the transformation. Slightly used condition, only minor tears. Or tears. It upgrades a Dart Monkey into a Super Monkey, but limited it to a Tier 3 Super Monkey.
I've been waiting for you.
And
Oh, wow.
Ah,
And then next
there
one.
you are.
bottle of Jerry Fire's hot sauce. I'll just show you what it does.
Ah, there you are.
You see the thing on? Basically,
Yeah, it's shooting fireballs.
basically adds the wizard's fire breath to a tower.
Huh.
Only costs 500 to add it to one, though it is temporary.
Yes, my friend.
Still nice.
Yeah.
Executing
Okay.
hack.
Now back to talk about Thor, I guess. What is it called? So, did you have a favorite character in Thor?
Yes, I would go with Axel.
Which one was that?
That's Heimdall's son.
Okay.
That's why I said I don't think anyone else was going with my favorite character. I thought they just did him very well. I had a close
Guys?
second, and that was the villain.
Yeah, Gore.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. That was everything about his character was awesome.
Yeah.
I think Scarlet Witch would have a field day with him, but still, he was still a good character. It's crazy to think you think of villains now, and it's like, yeah, how would they compete against other villains? It's like, all right, right now, I think you have to put Thanos still number one because he got the gauntlet. Then I'll put Scarlet Witch up there,
Awesome.
like
In
dangerous
strength.
wise, in strength and shit like that. I'm not saying like what was the best villain, but
Yeah.
it's like after that there's definitely a nosedive. After those two, maybe Ultron you can put up there too.
Nah, Ultron would be around number 5. No, 6.
So you still agree with the 1 and 2, right?
Yeah. Well, kinda. I want to say you have to lower, what's her name? Scarlet Witch down to 3rd place.
Who's second?
Dormammu. You just... Actually... Yeah, no, Scarlet Witch will go 4th place. Dormammu is 3rd or 2nd place. And then 3rd place would be the Celestial that appeared in... what's it called? The Eternals. Because it's obvious he is a villain. He's going to be a villain, there's no question on that. And he was antagonistic in that, and he... Actually, I would put him probably above Thanos, but we haven't seen what him actually use his ability, so can't put him there yet. I can't put him there yet. But I want to say he would be above Thanos in danger level.
I can handle those.
Yep.
I have something new.
Alright, last wave.
Okay.
Oh no, weird. Cool. Well, that was quick.
Yeah, let's continue with free play.
Yeah, that's fine. Try to get to 100.
Oh yeah, currently, the action figure I could sell for 53,000 now.
Wow.
Yeah. What's up? Open the door, I can't hear you.
Good.
What's up?
What's expensive with your computer?
Why?
Because you got an expensive computer with high specs. Just
How else would you get to round 300 without a freezing?
it's
You need
laggy
the
right
highest-
now. Look at it.
You need the... No, this is because it's co-op. You need the highest quality computer you can get in order to play Boon Star Defense up to round 300. Otherwise it would freeze and you'd never get to it. Okay, selling the action figure for 62,000. And immediately getting Monkey Wall treat.
You got them messaging me back, and it's like, you have till from today till Wednesday to take your drug test. And it's like, okay, they're closed on the weekend. So yeah.
Good luck with that.
Oh, it's easy to pass a drug test when you can pass a drug test.
Okay, see ya. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know if I would agree with Heimdall's son being... But I don't think he should be favorite character, but I think he was well done.
But that's why. It's like, I expected Christian Bale, and I expected that. I honestly, am going into that movie, I was like, alright, Gore's gonna be the best character. Christian Bale never misses a home run. It's like, he's good in everything he does. And so I was like, alright, that's the only reason, is because I knew Christian Bale was gonna kill it. Like, if I didn't think the Christian Bale side of it, yeah, I'd put Gore as number one. But when you put in a factor that,
Dude.
this kid just, honestly, he killed his role.
friend.
Like, the kid was great.
Yes, my
How they
friend.
may him grow through the movie was
Hello.
insane.
There
The
you
ending with him was good, making him the leader of them and stuff like that. I was 100%
Yeah.
behind it.
And it does seem like they're going for the same, or they are aiming to head for, I think, the Young Avengers. Which is essentially, think of Teen Titans by the Avengers.
Yeah.
Because they are setting up with that. A bunch of characters that are young that would be the protege kids or stuff like that of
Just
the...
what we needed.
What do you want to call it? Yeah, just a bunch of them.
There you are.
Okay. So my favorite one that I can actually
Cash
count as a
money.
character
Begin cycle.
has to be Gore.
There you are.
Okay.
So if you talk about characters that didn't actually have a line, I would have to put my number one as
Yep.
Stormbreaker.
Okay. That's a different one. I was thinking you were going to go a different route.
Yes,
I know
Stormbreaker,
what I know what Mom and Evan's favorite character was.
the god of dumplings.
No, the fucking screaming.
Oh yeah, Devin the goat.
Yeah, the fucking goats.
Yeah.
Jesus.
By the way, the goat's name is Devin.
Of course it is.
Yeah. But, what's it called? I would pick Stormbreaker without a doubt because...
Stormbreaker was awesome.
And just funny.
Oh yeah, no, I love the add of the legitimately the hammer and how much the hammer and Stormbreaker meant. I liked how they went off a lot of the. That's one thing with Thor they haven't gone off of is a lot of the Vikings side of things. This was the first movie they really digged in on the Viking side of stuff, like talking about Valhalla.
Guys.
Like, yeah, you know the Valkyries and shit like that, but yes, but they never went into like history and stuff like that, like they did in this movie. So I think they went, they did really well with a lot of that kind of stuff. And Stormbreaker was just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It was funny. So is Gore's child a mutant?
No.
No.
Or at least not.
I wasn't sure if she was just like gifted, like she's like a superhero supervillain, or was she actually a mutant?
She had no powers initially. She was just the child of another mortal. Nothing important, nothing significant about her. But with her rebirth, she has been given the powers of eternity. She's now referred to as the child of eternity. Eternity being that being that was shown towards the end. The one that grants the wish.
Yes, my friend.
With that being said,
There you are.
what's it called? The Child of Eternity is a completely new character. Never seen before in any of the comics.
Executing
Love, the name of Gore's daughter, is a completely new character. Never before
So
seen.
that's why
this.
it's called Love and Thunder. Huh?
Yeah, that's what they referred to it was. Her name is Love and Thor was Thunder. Yeah. She is... how to say?
Well done, my friend.
She is a character that without that, no idea how or what her
guys.
path is going to be in the future. Because
Alright,
she's a new character.
yeah. Alright, so we did favorite. I know you don't have a lot of time, so let's get on to the next one.
Okay, yeah.
Least favorite.
Least favorite. Since you went first last time, we'll go first this time. Least favorite without doubt was the god of, or the sun god at the beginning of the movie.
Sun god at the beginning of... Okay, and see, that's what I think. Mom said the same damn thing, and I said that was... He was in it for a minute.
Oh.
Like, I
I would say he was in it for just a minute. He was in it for very short, but he
Cash money.
had his
he
time
had
in
an
it.
impact.
He had his character, but it was just... I don't think the character itself was written badly, but the portrayal of it just threw me off and made me think at the beginning of the movie, this movie is going to be bad. Because of how he was going with it.
Yeah, I do gotta say, they shit on the gods.
Well done, my friend.
I do gotta say.
I have no issue with how they portrayed Zeus, in all honesty, but I have major issue with how they portrayed just that character. Just a random god of the sun.
Oh, well, I mean, you can take a wild guess who my least favorite character was.
Same one?
Nice.
No, Zeus.
Yeah.
I did not like him. I did not. I'm like, dude, come on.
Cash
You're
money.
making Zeus into a
Executing
spoof movie. Come on. Don't do that.
Well, here's something I can see possibly happening. Is,
Well done, my
Hercules goes out to deal with either the mortals or deal with Thor, and doesn't return back to Omnipotent City, and Zeus
Yeah.
decides to go like Thanos does. It's like, okay, fine, I'll deal with them myself. And he does a training montage like
Come again.
Thor does, and comes back actually built, strong, and ready to battle.
Yeah, they're just gonna show a whole bunch of scenes having orgies.
Yeah. But to be fair, that is actually how Zeus as a character model is supposed to be, with still being a complete poet, and how Zeus in mythology, like Earth mythology, is as well.
I just didn't like how goofy they made it. They made it really stupid.
Understandable.
Oh, another one.
There you are.
Another favorite character of mine that honestly probably third. The Rock dude. What's his name? Not Porg. What's it Porg? No, Porg is that's the wormish kind of dude. What's his
I honestly have forgot his name as well. I do remember the name of his husband
He
at
was,
the
he
end.
was hilarious.
Guys.
Yeah, Dwayne the Rock.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Jesus. Come on. That was great. That was so good.
Well
I-
done, my friend.
Just, oh, he was so good in this movie. He's been good every time. Honestly, he's another character that's just been good every single time.
Yeah.
Fabuloso. Well done, my friend.
See, went over favorite and least favorite character. Now,
Cash money.
next thing.
Inside the
Who was your... What do you want to call it? So what was your favorite scene? And I want to separate this into two things. What was your favorite scene for, like, comedy, amusement-wise? What was your favorite scene, action-wise? And then what was
guys?
your favorite scene, plot-wise? Because all those, I would say, are different, just categories in general in this movie.
Alright. Out of spite of how they did Zeus, my favorite scene was when they killed Zeus.
Plot-wise
At
or comedy-wise? So it's like that.
Well done, my
Probably
friend.
plot-wise, just because it was like, dude, I did not like it. Comedy-wise, honestly, anything with the Rock dude. It's just anything. He was funny the whole movie, and probably when the fucking goats screamed in, breaking through the palace, and they got out of there, kind of thing. that was got out of
Ah,
Zeus's
there
area.
you
That was
are.
pretty good too, funny wise.
Yeah.
But actual great scenes
Well
that I
done,
really
my
enjoyed when he gave Power Thor for a limited time only kind of thing. They gave the kids Power Thor, the
I have something
little girl
new.
holding the teddy
guys?
bear, just
Come again?
screaming and zapping everything in sight.
Guys,
Yeah, I believe that was Mom's favorite scene as well. So, yeah.
That was pretty good. Action-wise, probably the scene in the Shadow
you
Realm
might want to take a look
where
at
they're.
this.
I just like the whole black and white idea too.
Yeah.
I just really did. Like I like the black and white, them fighting. Even when they were basically he got them all caught up and shit like that before them fighting. That was pretty epic too. Like
Executing cash money.
it was
in
definitely
sight.
it sucks that Gore died in a way, but obviously he wasn't good and all that. But at the same point, like he's a character. It's like, oh man, he's dead. I wish we could have him again. Like Thanos was awesome villain. Like sometimes you root for. It's like you're not rooting for the villain. It's like, damn, I wish we could have another movie with the villain. This was a villain. Like honestly, any action scene with him, I enjoyed. Like it was good.
Yeah.
Where are you at about it?
I'd say my favorite scene, comedy-wise, has to be. Okay. Two, I would say. But first off,
guys?
every single scene with Stormbreaker just slowly appearing from the side of the screen, and just the screen just slowly pans, and he's just there.
Good
It's like
night, Vienna.
catching them doing something that they're not supposed to do,
Executing
just
hack.
over and over and over every single time. That always made me laugh. Then besides that, the other scene I would put as my favorite comedy-wise is also my favorite art style-wise, just style-wise. They just arrived in the Shadow Realm. All the colors just wipe out, and it just goes from colorful bright to just black and white, gray, everything. And then you see the planet that they're heading to. And the planet, you're like, oh, that's a huge planet, they're going to land in there, and you don't have to search for them and have a battle there. Have to be careful of all the shadows. So like, and you're like, okay, they're going to land there. And they're heading towards it, directly towards it, and then you just crash directly into the planet. And it's like, oh, this planet is actually the size of maybe a city at most. It's not a fucking huge planet. And you just hear the fucking goat scream. At that point, I'm like, what the fuck? I just actually burst out laughing at that point. Which is very rare for a movie to actually get me to laugh out loud in the theater.
Come again.
But yeah, that one actually succeeded in that for me.
I gotta say, I liked a lot of the Jade stuff too. I did.
I'll
But
say,
there were some very good characters in this.
Yeah.
That's the reason why she didn't make any of my list. Like, but her character, there was like legitimately, other than there was a couple bad things about the movie. The movie could have easily been a 9 out of 10, but I don't think it reached there because of it was very spooky and things.
Well
Yeah.
done, my friend.
I would say I'm putting I'd say I put Jane as my second favorite character. Because I can't count Stormbreaker as a character, sadly. I would if I could, but can't. So I'd put Jane as number 2 for me. And she was the surprise great character. I was like, okay. I remember she did good in the movies that she was in there. She played a character straight, serious. And I didn't have any issue with her before. This time I had even less issue with her. The only good thing I can say about how Jane Foster, aka the Mighty Thor, was played. She did great in it.
Dude.
And I will say, this movie, out of all of the Marvel movies, was the best one for showing female characters actually being just strong characters.
Yeah.
This was the best movie of all of them so far for that. There was no part of it that was pandering. There's no part that was like, oh, it's the strong and here's a female moment. No, it was all just these characters are just badass, great characters. You love them. They are what I would say would be what Marvel has been trying to push in there, the strong female role model kind of character. That's what this movie had all the way through. This was the best one for that so far. No
I
question.
agree with that. Yeah. Unless you want to put Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi has some great comic characters.
Yes.
Well, at least one. It had a couple. Obviously, I think this one had a little more meaning behind some of them with like the whole cancer thing and everything. Like
I'd say
life.
Shang-Chi had a lot as well. There was literally no issue I had with Shang-Chi as well. But I'd say this one still does better when it comes to just female characters. Or for strong female characters. The other one, they had female characters be strong and be funny, and then like, okay, they were good characters.
How good they were. Yeah, they were. And there's a cap to how good they were. Like this, like with the power of Thor and everything. She legitimately the reason why she couldn't keep fighting and stuff like that was because of the cancer, not because of like the
her strength, her willpower, anything else. It was literally
the cancer.
Yeah. Let's see. Now.
Oh, I loved. Honestly, legitimately, because I'm such a Heimdall fan. That's also why Axel was probably being very biased, being my favorite character in this. Like when she showed up in Valhalla, and he was welcoming her right there as he always would do his welcome in the Thor movies and stuff. I was like, oh, they just did everything right with that scene. That was probably emotionally my favorite scene, like how touching they were.
Oh yeah.
On top of the scene with what's his name? The Thor asking Thor to protect her.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah, that was another. There was some touchy scenes there too, for sure. They definitely hit the whole emotional spectrum in this movie.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite action scene was. I'm leaning between two of them. The first action scene with Thor, when he was with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but that one didn't have as much hit as any others. And then I would put it the scene where, or the what's it called? The fighting scene on the planet in the Shadow Realm. I'll put that one as I'd say that one would probably be my favorite action scene. I'll put that above the final fighting scene as well. Because while it was, I did think it was amusing what they're doing with the giving all the kids a power of Thor. It also it felt like it kind of weakened his abilities controlling the shadows. It's like, oh, we'll just have kids kill him off, even if they are given the power of Thor. It's like we'll just minimize that a small bit, minimize his threat a bit. But that didn't eliminate his actual threat himself.
Thank you. Come again.
I'd say if I was to put the best when it comes to the best just fight in general would be Thor and the Mighty Thor fighting against Gore at the very end. Just those three after the kids left. I would say that would be the absolute best fighting scene because it was not interrupted by anything. It was just full on just those characters duking it out at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I should place another town at this point. Things are getting farther.
Thank you. Come again.
Dude.
What else is this? And then it says favorite comedy scene, favorite plot scene for me. I'll have to give it to the scene in the hospital where Thor had to confront
Good
Jane
night,
about
Vienna.
the cancer and tell her that she had to stay, and she had to make the choice. And at that point, when he actually mentioned that next time he does it, she will die,
Come again.
that point guaranteed to me that she was going to go back and actually fight alongside him, and that she was going to die in the movie. There was no question at that point. Eve, it was giving her the chance to pick, and she decided to go, and she decided to trust him. But then later on, Mjolnir comes to her,
Well
and
done,
essentially
my friend.
is, or she said, it was like Mjolnir talked to her, called to her before, when she initially picked him, or
Well,
picked up Mjolnir.
she was feeling energy. What was going on?
Yeah. But then, when it came to Mjolnir actually coming to her, and actually rising up at that point, it was essentially Mjolnir saying, Thor is gonna lose. You need to go. We need to go. And that was just, that combination of those two parts was definitely my favorite part for plot-wise, because it just solidified
Well done, my friend.
her character development from being just Jane Foster to the female Thor to actually being mighty Thor, the one worthy to hold the title Thor besides Odin's son.
Yeah.
That was the point where she 100% earned it, and I cannot argue against her having that at any point
Well done,
in
my
that plan.
friend.
Yeah.
So that would be my favorite plot-related scene. So let's cover the 3 different ones for me. Now, did you have a least favorite scene?
Well done, my friend.
Yeah, they were a little too cringy with stuff. Some of the conversations. Just it was very cringe at points. And Thor is not supposed to be cringe. Like, I understand Love and Thunder, ex-girlfriend, whatever, the whole shebang, but that's where, and then on top of it, Zeus, like how goofy he was. Like, they made a lot of cringe parts. It almost made me feel like I was watching Drake and Josh. Like, that's how cringe was.
Yeah.
Well done, my friend.
That's like, I understand like Spider-Man or something, like he's supposed to be the awkward, not Thor. Thor's not supposed to be that. That's not his character. His character's supposed to be goofy, his character's supposed to be a god and all this. His character's not supposed to be cringeworthy. And yeah, so I just
Well done, my friend.
I'd say there was quite a few scenes that were like that in different parts of the movie. I just can't list them right off the top of my head. But
I would say my agreement on that, but mainly I would say it being the, what's it called? Let's say,
They're smart.
I want to
And
say
there's
my
me,
least favorite
smart.
scenes were the awkward love moments, which almost all of them were awkward love moments on Thor's side, not on the mighty Thor's side, not on Jane's side. She didn't have those moments,
Well done, my
really.
friend. Well
When she
done,
had
my
the
friend.
love moments, she did them well. When it came to Thor, it felt odd. It just didn't feel right. I'll be honest on that one.
yeah. So and those, that definitely takes away. It's like one of those movies, like if I really wanted to rewatch it again, like I do want to rewatch it again, but the thing is I know I'm gonna have to sit through those cringe parts. I'm like, I know this cringe part's coming up, I'll go get popcorn or something. Like that, I don't like that in movies. I don't like where I know there's scenes that they're like, no, I go use a restroom now, this part absolutely sucks. That takes points away from the movie for me.
Yeah.
Like, so, and there's quite a few of them. Like, there's like 3 or 4 parts in the movie I could tell someone, hey, you're about to miss a cringe part, just go use the restroom now. Like, you really want to see it, go see it. If you've already seen it, it's like, alright, I would actually fast forward through this part.
Well done, my
That's
friend.
and that's what that has to take points away. Kind of gave me feelings of like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, but Ant-Man and the Wasp and stuff, it was just because I didn't care for the characters as much. Like this movie, I like Thor. I've always liked Thor. And it's like making him so weird like this. It's like, ugh, all right. I can see why some people shit on the movie. I'm not saying I shit on the movie. I'm just saying like there are some parts where I know I could easily walk away from my seat and not be bothered. You know, all right, next 2 minutes I know are gonna be absolute bullshit. But an hour and 40 minutes of that movie was solid. But there was like 8 to 10 minutes of that movie that were just really hurt.
Yeah.
And that was me watching it the first time.
Have you watched it 2 times or just once?
Just once. And that's the thing, like, I don't know if I'm watching it twice or not, to be honest. Just because I know those parts, it's like, oh, I could go get popcorn or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I will say this, my least favorite scene, I was thinking when I was talking to this about this before to someone, I was thinking it was going to probably be the Ra scene, or not Ra, the god of the sun god, because that was not Ra, the sun god, that was a different sun god. But no, it wasn't. It turned out nothing, that was just the awkward love moments, because those did while the sun god scene made me think the movie might actually turn out being bad, it still had a lot of good moments to it. And it was just literally the character that was causing that. While the love moments, they literally pulled me out of the movie bit by bit each time. Not because it was, or because it was love, but because it was. It was the awkward love moments that didn't even. It was the awkward love moments by Thor by himself, essentially.
And they weren't needed. One might have been needed, but 3 or 4 scenes of it was not needed.
Oh, wait, actually, I'll add one of the scenes into that. Them stopping in the middle of fighting, both Mighty Thor and Thor, just those two of them stopping in the middle of a fight to go react, oh, how have you been? Just start having a casual talk. I'll say this, while that is the style thing of what Thor would do, would actually start talking in the middle of the fight, he would not stop fighting during the fight. He would talk while fighting. That's how he always does it. In all the other movies, if he's talking, he's still doing shit when he's in a fight.
Perfect example.
But then that one, they just go ahead and hold out.
Thor.
Yeah. But then in this one, he just goes ahead and they both literally stop completely while the entire town is being attacked by these shadow monsters. And nope, they'll both just stop and pay no attention to anything else and just have this casual, kind of awkward conversation. Like, no, that one in particular was the scene that I think was the worst scene for me in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, final thing before you have to go, right?
No, actually I have time because I needed Kyle to come back from work because we're going to the gym together, and he wanted to have some time to actually take a break before we go. He was running a bit late, so have time to talk about this.
Alright. Then I'm going to stop this game in a few minutes because I got to make myself dinner still, and I'm not trying to be eating at like 9 p.m. So I just say we get in the game and I just still talk on the phone and you just start a new game so people can watch.
Oh no, you just leave the game on and just switch to, like, are you using your phone for Discord or a...
phone for Discord.
Yeah, so just bring your phone with you and just leave the computer on so it just use so any experience on this. It's that simple.
Alright, then let me do this real quick. Let me just send you a shit ton of money. And so you go do whatever.
You do see what I have in the bottom right corner, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be away from my thing for a bit.
Okay. Well, the last thing I had two more things I want to say about it. So first off, I want to know what was your like final thoughts on the movie after all that stuff?
Final thoughts is I'm very interested to see what they do with Valhalla. I do not think that's it. I think there's going to be a lot more. I think it was great to see that. I don't think Jane is done. I'm interested in seeing whoever this little kid is. Definitely like it. Obviously, it doesn't seem like Thor's going anywhere anytime soon. Like he said, if they want me to play Thor till the day I die, I'll play Thor. And like Chris Hemsworth. So I'm happy to see that. It seems like Thor is going to be around for a while. We need to keep until they build up the Hulk. For some fucking reason, they just haven't done it. They need to keep one of the originals. Legitimately, we have Hawkeye. He's a great character in every movie he's in. It's great, but he's not like the face. Captain America gone, Iron Man gone, Black Widow gone. Hulk's not built up. Hawkeye's not built up. Like, and then it's Thor. So Thor needs to stay around until we figure this out. Like they get this like they get Hulk or Hawkeye to become like. But the thing is, there'll be more of Hulk than Hawkeye. Like because Hawkeye, I don't think is ever going to get the normal person push like Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like no offense to him, but like I think he's an awesome actor. Plus, I love his character. It's just if you go up to 1,000 people, say who's these two people, way more people are going to know who Black Widow is than they are going to know who Hawkeye is.
Yeah.
And Hulk, they just need to build up right. They just haven't built them, but it's horrible. It is horrible what they are doing to Hulk.
So they've done good with Bruce Banner. Wait, is it Bruce Banner?
Bruce Banner's been great. Yeah, Bruce Banner's great.
But as far as Hulk goes, Hulk is still not Hulk. He still hasn't reached the strength or even the character of what Hulk has the potential to be, or what he has been in the comics before.
Yeah.
It is bad for me to say this, but you remember the original Hulk movie?
Yes, the very first one.
Yeah. That one I would say had the best Hulk itself.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. The second one still had a very good Hulk, and that was the start of the MCU. That still had a good Hulk, but I don't like Norton. Not a good Banner. It didn't need to be so dramatic kind of thing. And then obviously since the Avengers, but Avengers 1 was good. Avengers 1, he was good. I can't argue that. Like he was good. But after Avengers 1, it went downhill quick. By the time we got to Infinity War, he was an absolute joke. Even Thor Ragnarok, a Thor without a hammer, basically put him on unconscious and beat him in the fight. Like, come on, stop that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna mute myself for a minute.
Okay, I want to talk about my opinion on the movie as well. So.
Yeah. How do I mute them on Discord?
There's a few buttons that you can press, but the mute one should be the one that looks like a microphone.
I know that. I just can't talk it.
Okay, well, just like... Oh, for a second, I guess.
I found it. I found it.
Okay, so my opinion on the movie, if I say... I think it was a good movie, very good. But I watched a bunch of movies this year, and oddly enough, I went and ranked them. Been ranking all the movies I saw this year. I do not believe this movie even reached my top 5 movies this year.
Give me your top 5 again.
Let me pull up the list.
Don't say number 1 because I know what number 1 was.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Thor, Love and Thunder got number 6 for me. Actually, I'll just go for the 11 movies. There is 12 on this list, but one of them is a movie that it's just because I watched it this year for the first time, even though it came out a different year. But so 11 movies. The worst movie I've seen so far this year is Jackass Forever. No questions asked there. Number 11 would be The Northman. Number 10 was Morbius. Number 9 would be Jurassic World Dominion. Oh wait, actually, number 8 is a movie that came out a different year, so can ignore it. Number 7, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. At this point in the movies, I'll actually say Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is the first one on this list that I actually say I liked the movie almost all the way through. It was a good movie. All the other ones below this, I think, didn't actually qualify as what would count as an actual good movie. There were movies, some of them were decent, but I don't think I would count them as good. Then after Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I'd put Thor, Love and Thunder. Number 5, I'm putting Lightyear. Really liked it. Great movie, and it had me nearly cry within the first 30 minutes because of they develop one character and how they do that shit to them. I'm not going to do any spoilers for anyone watching the stream, but yeah. Great movie, highly suggest watching it. Number 4, I would put Uncharted. Yeah, Uncharted just was a solid movie all the way around. I had no complaints about it. Number 3 would be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It was amazing. How they did Scarlet Witch, how they did Doctor Strange, all that stuff. 100% love it. Great movie. I would watch that 2 or 3 more times without a doubt. Don't have to even wait to watch those. The next one is, number 2 is The Batman. A lot of people have issues with 3 hours. That was 3 hours I was worthwhile watching. I'd be up to watching more than 3 hours of it if they had more. Except for the final scene that they had. That is the one thing I didn't care for. But that was the after credits, so not even trying to think of it. And then number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I know you don't care for that movie in the slightest, but I like it. But yeah, put Thor, Love and Thunder as number 6. And out of the recent Marvel movies I've seen, it is better than Morbius, and it's better than Venom 2. It's better than those 2. But it's not as good as it's not as good as Shang-Chi. It's not as good as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And yeah, I know. I'm talking about all the movies since Endgame, essentially. All these Marvel movies that's come out so far in this phase, the start of Phase 4. This is probably what count as. I'd say it's middle of the pack. It's just an average movie. It's better than Venom 2. It's better than Morbius. It's better than Black Widow. It's better than those 3. But it's worse than Spider-Man, No Way Home. It's worse than Doctor Strange. It's worse than Shang-Chi. So it's literally in the middle. It's ranked number 4 of 7 for the MCU movies for me. And as far as how I think they did it, I think I really like how they are going art style wise and just the style in general with Thor. They are going extreme with it. They're trying to go experimental. They're making everything colorful. They're making everything bigger than real life. They're going as hard as they can. They're making it be like, hey, you know, comic books make things a bit unrealistic. Let's show you what an unrealistic thing would look like if you made it in real life. So make these unrealistic floating cities out of gold, filled with gods. Like, yeah, let's make that and let's make it look as realistic as we can. We go ahead and they just go fucking bonkers they just like, okay, we have all these dots that we can throw at the wall. Let's put them all in a catapult and just chuck them. Just all at once. And everything has hit with the Thor movies, the past two ones, when it comes to the style and visuals that they're doing. I love what they're doing with it. As far as the characters, I think this was... Look, I think I'll put this group of characters... Hell, I liked all the characters. I'd have to put Thor as my number 5 character, which is saying something. The main character was number 5 in my rank for best characters, with the villain being my favorite, then the Mighty Thor, Jane Foster being second favorite, Valkyrie being third, just on and on. All these different characters I liked a bit better than Thor. It's not because Thor himself was bad, but it definitely wasn't the best Thor performance. And it's not because of how Chris Hemsworth played it, it was more of just how it was written. There. Then, besides that, I liked how they did the characters. I always said this, I think this was the best movie in the MCU so far for showing strong female role models. The best one so far, no questions asked. Let's see, what else can I say? How they're portraying the villain in the past few movies and in this one is really showing they're going all in and making the villains as important as the heroes now. Like, if you think of the old Marvel movies, Iron Man, the original Thor, just Captain America, it was like, okay, we'll show the villain every so often, but the main focus is on the hero.
Yeah,
all
building
these,
up the hero.
Yeah. All of these past ones have been having it that the villain and the hero are getting equal screen time at this point. Because they are
Where do you think that started? Which movie do you think started that? Of like where alright, now the villain is real. Where like the original, like alright, now they're playing off the villain than the superheroes.
The movie that started showing the villain as much as the hero in the MCU.
Ultron?
I think that one did it, but they still they showed Ultron a lot, but they showed the hero still more.
Alright.
I want to say, what's it called?
Well, Killmonger was a huge deal too, but he wasn't shown as much as Black Panther. But he was still a huge deal. Like it was so I would say Killmonger has to be in that category. Thor Ragnarok, they didn't really show.
This is going to be a bit of a controversial one. The movie that started showing the hero and the villain equal amounts has to be Captain America: Civil War. Not because they were showing the guy in purple, the main actual villain of the movie, as much as the heroes, because no, they didn't. He was barely in it in comparison to them. But because they portrayed it was hero versus hero, and they had to split up as one of them has to get half the screen time, the other gets the other half. Captain America gets half, or his side gets half, and then Iron Man gets the other half. They split it up at that point, and they showed that the protagonist and antagonist, not actually the hero and villain, but the person that the movie is actually following and the person the movie is going against, or the protagonist is against, that is the one that they actually separated those first evenly. That was the one that I would actually say started it. Of all the movies, I'd say that one is the one that actually started that trend. Though not all of them after has followed it, that one I would say is the one that actually started it.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the past few movies, they've been focusing a huge amount on the villains, and because of that, the villains have been very, very good. And that's one of the things. If the villain is very good, and we already have the main characters established, or the heroes established, it's hard to fuck that up when you have the hero being very good and or already established, you already like the character, you don't need any extra backstory, and they just play them as they have played them before, and then they add in a very good villain that they develop great. It's very hard for them to fuck that up. And that's what they're doing. They're making it so that they can't fuck up that sort of thing. When I talk about the movies that, since the Phase 3 ended, the Phase 4 movies, the ones that they have played or portrayed, or the ones I'm saying are not as good as this one, the 3 below it, all 3 of them focused on the hero way more than the villain, I'll admit that. Venom 2, the Carnage one, they focus on the Venom and Eddie Brock way more than Carnage, no question that, and that was a very short movie. Morbius, they focused on Dr. Morbius more than the other doctor that they played, or he was against. They focused on him almost the entire way through. And again, it was a very short movie. Then there was Scarlet Witch. Oh, not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. And they focused on her all the way through, barely on the villain. That was the thing that happened in all that.
Those are newer characters, so they're trying to... Well, okay, Black Widow isn't new.
Yeah.
And neither is Venom, but the thing is, this is Venom's second movie that he's even been a part of. And then Black Widow, she hasn't had a standalone movie. She was just straight up Iron Man 2, Captain America movie. She was in...
I know that, but the thing
all the Avengers,
the thing is, for Venom and for Eddie Brock and for Black Widow, their characters were already fully established in the previous movies. Black Widow, it wasn't her first... It was her first solo movie, but her character has been fully established, fully fleshed out. We know her very well. All they need to do was continue with her and build up a good villain, and it might have been a lot better, but it didn't work out that way. With Venom, they built up... We already know a lot about Venom and Eddie Brock in the first movie. They focused on those two almost all the way through, and they developed those two as characters almost all the way through. And they did spend a decent amount of time in Venom 2 developing the characters, but they didn't develop Carnage enough, in all honesty. They didn't develop the threat enough. They developed the strength of the threat, but not the actual threat himself. They didn't develop him enough, and that made the movie feel a bit weak. And that's what I'm getting with. These past few movies, the past few Marvel movies have shown the difference between weak and strong when it comes to... Actually, I forgot about one Marvel movie when I was talking about all these. The Eternals. I'll put Eternals as worse than Thor: Love and Thunder. And that's just how it is.
I'll put them in the same category.
I'll put it worse than Thor: Love and Thunder. It's with the other 3 that's worse than. And they focused almost the entire movie on the heroes want to get that. But that's one... I feel like that, and each one of the movies, that's not the sole issue with it, but it is a big issue with those movies. They didn't develop the threat enough. Or rather, the Eternals, they did develop the threat, but it was the idea of a threat. The Eternals was fighting an idea, essentially, for a long-ass time. They were fighting the end of the world and trying to figure out a way past it. It wasn't really a superhero movie. Just like I would say Black Widow wasn't a superhero movie. It was a Marvel movie, but Black Widow was a spy movie set in the MCU, and the Eternals is a disaster movie set in the MCU. That's all it is. They're just different genre movies. They didn't have the right style as well. They haven't been fleshed out how Marvel can do those yet. But that's all of that. Well, back to Thor: Love and Thunder. I like how they're doing with the villain. I like how it's heading. They were heading this in the right direction. But I'll put this in the middle of all the Marvel movies I've seen since the end of starting Phase 4. It's the middle of the pack for that. And for the movies I've seen this year so far, it's the middle of the pack as well. And then if I'm talking about what's it called? How the direction or if I talk about the Thor movies themselves, I want to actually say I'll put this as rank number 3. I'll say for Thor movies, my least favorite was Thor 2. Trying to remember the name of it. That kind of shows my opinion of it. I don't remember the name of the. It was Thor 2. Dark World. That's it. Thor 2 Dark World. That movie was the worst Thor movie in my opinion. Then this one I would put as number 3. Number 2, I would put the original Thor movie.
Yeah, Ragnarok is your favorite?
Honestly, yes. I'd put number 1 as Thor Ragnarok for Thor movies for me. That's just my opinion on it, though.
My thing is because they shit on the Hulk so bad. I have a little spite because growing up, Hulk was my dude. He was my favorite. So like to have them shit on Hulk the way they did, like in that movie, I was done. The Hulk had his points, but he got shit on too. So
yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah. So
I think
I thought Thor 1 was just one of those that I could still watch today, and I'm like, yeah, that was very good. That was worth watching. Thor Ragnarok, it's like I kind of have to be in like a mood. Like I would have to be like, all right, well, let's get ready to watch some Thor Ragnarok or something.
For me, I wouldn't have to be in any mood to watch either of those two, Thor or Thor Ragnarok. But I'll say, while Thor is a very good movie, it's great for establishing Thor and establishing the characters and all that stuff, establishing Loki all the way through. I think just all the positive, all the stuff that goes good in Thor Ragnarok far outweighs the 1 or 2 bad things that I could think about in Thor Ragnarok. And to the point that it far outweighs it, that it's still a better movie just over than all the other Thors. That's just my opinion on it. But I was still, out of the Thor movies, this one, I still like this one. But I guess I'd put it in the middle too, because out of 4 movies of 4 Thor movies, it's third place. I guess honestly, that's middle.
3 and 4, I agree. 1 and 2, I just haven't flipped. But it's not like 1 and 2 are like miles apart from each other either way. I think you're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
You're not saying that 4 is 10 times better movie than like the first one, and I'm not saying like number 1's so much better than the 4th one.
I'm saying the third one.
It's close.
It's 1 and 3 that we have switched on that. Now.
Wait, where do you have 1?
No, I have 1. Look, Thor, the original, is place number 2 for me. You were saying that I had number 4, the most recent Thor that we just watched, as number 1. No, I had that number 3.
Oh, yeah, 3. Sorry. Yeah. No, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 and 1. My bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Then the next thing I want to mention. I love one thing that they've been doing the past few movies. They are establishing the big threats once again. Like they established Thanos in the background in the post-credit scene. They are establishing who the big threat is going to be. And I don't mean for this next Avengers movie, whenever that comes out. That is not... The big threat that they're setting up right now is not there. Actually, they're setting up 2 big threats, and neither of them are going to be the next Avengers threat. I don't know who the next Avengers threat can be at this point, but I know, not in Phase 4, but like Phase 5 or Phase 6, they've already decided who the big villains are going to be at this point.
This movie, they did show what was that big dude that like in the end of in Eternals. What's the big dude called?
The They in Eternals they had the Celestials, and there's one in particular that everyone thinks of as the villain when it comes to Celestial, and that is Galactus, aka the
Yeah.
villain that always fights off against. But everyone thinks of him in connection to the Fantastic Four, but he's literally a villain on par, if not stronger. Actually, he is stronger than Thanos. But
Yeah.
and the Infinity Gauntlet doesn't work against him. I should mention that. No, Infinity Gauntlet, remember, the stones only affect those from and within the original universe. That was established in Loki. So if you use the stone in the correct universe, but it's against a being from a different universe, it has no effect on them. And if you use it outside of that universe, it will have no effect on them as well. Galactus is a Celestial, but he's not a Celestial from this universe. He is the last surviving Celestial from the last universe. So you know how Loki did the timeline going around the circle over and over? And when the time ends and then it restarts again, the timeline loop? Galactus is a Celestial from a previous universe. The Infinity Gauntlet does not, for the MCU right now, the stones, the rules that they follow in this MCU, not in the comics. The stones work differently in the comics than in the MCU. But in the MCU, those stones do not work on Galactus. No matter what Thanos would have or would lose to Galactus, because without the Infinity Gauntlet, he has no chance. And with it, they do not boost him. They boost his ability to do stuff, but none of them will have effect on Galactus. It's just that. So Galactus is a bigger threat than Thanos. Or he is stronger than Thanos, but I guess Thanos still is a bigger threat to normal people. But Galactus is still stronger in general. It's a weird thing, like it's like saying think about Pokemon. And you're a normal type and you're fighting, you have two options to fight against. You have a ghost type with only ghost moves, being Gengar, and then you have a Torchic. And you're a normal type. Gengar is 100% the stronger Pokemon than Torchic, but because Gengar only has ghost type moves, he is no threat to you. So Torchic is a bigger threat to you than Gengar would be. That's how it is with Thanos and Galactus. Galactus is 100% in the MCU when he actually shows up stronger than Thanos, but he will be less of a threat to the humans and to the main characters and to the universe in general than Thanos was. That's just how it is on this. But I like how they're setting up. They're setting up the villains for the future phases, and right now it's set up to have two big villains that they're setting up. One, Galactus and the Celestials. Though they haven't mentioned Galactus himself yet, they have essentially been setting up the Celestials over and over, with the Eternals, with showing how large a Celestial is, how much power one has, the ability to teleport across the entire fucking universe, being the size of much larger than the planet Earth, and being able to pull people directly off the planet and then just teleport away in an instant again. And it seemed to not wear him down in the slightest, just instant. Yeah, the Celestials are much bigger. There's no way the current Avengers can deal with them, so the Celestials cannot be the next threat in this next phase. The current Avengers are not strong enough yet. So that's for a later phase. And then but they are setting up. They showed them off in this movie as well. They showed that there was two Celestials in Omnipotent City. At the very end, when they were leaving the city, two Celestials turned and looked to go ahead and watch as they flew away. So they showed off them
that's
there.
what I saw too.
And they also, at the center of the universe, in the Shadow Realm, the area that Gore was heading to, and that big battle happened at the very end, the giant stone that was going to fall on all the kids and Thor caught was the head of a statue. The statue was of one of the Celestials, and then the entire room was rowed with those. Each wall was just statue after statue of statue of all the different Celestials. They were just showing off, and on. They are showing off that the Celestials are coming, that they are going to be a big part of the next few movies, or they're going to be a big part in the future. So I like how they're setting that up. Without a doubt, that's the big thing.
Alright, before we get too crazy off track, like we've been going all around with Marvel, your rating on this movie out of 10. What's your rating? You could do 0.5s or fulls, whatever.
I'll give this an 8. 7.5 to an 8 on this movie. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I consider it a good movie. Like, a 5 would be a meh movie. I think it's a movie. I think it's decent. I'd actually put Morbius at a 5. But 7 point, anything above a 5, I have to actually like. And then once it gets to 7, I have to think it's good. Once it gets to 8, I have to think it's great. Once I think it's 9, it has to be amazing. Once it's if it's a 10, I have to think there's zero flaws in the movie, perfect movie all the way through. I cannot complain about it. And so far, this year has given me 2 10s and 1 9.5. So I'll put this.
2 10s.
I'll put the Batman and Everything Everywhere All at Once as 10s. But I know you can disagree with Everything Everywhere All at Once, but Batman.
Cool.
The Batman.
Batman was phenomenal.
Yeah.
All the way through. It was a phenomenal movie.
The only thing
Anywhere, everywhere, all at once. I'm gonna blame on your LSD trip, but it's all good. It's all good. You gotta lay off the LSD.
I'll again say this. We talked about this before. Just like you think The Northman is a much better movie than I think it is, I think Everything Everywhere All at Once was a much better movie than Northman, or than you think it is. It's because we like the different styles of it. I like the style, what they were going on with Everything Everywhere All at Once. Hell, I've watched the movie now 3 times since it came out. And The Northman, you liked how they were going into Norse mythology and all that stuff. How accurate it was. You liked that a lot more than I did. That one threw me off a lot. Both of them are movies where it's like, okay, they are good movies, but they're not for everyone. That's an important thing with them. On the other hand, the Batman is one I'll say is a 10 out of 10. But I have to say it's also not for everyone, because not everyone can deal with a 3-hour movie, and not everyone can deal with such.
All right, let me just. Okay, the people that can't deal with those kind of movies, 3-hour movies, are either children, which understandable, like little Sean, he couldn't sit through the Batman, he didn't like it, and stuff, wanted to leave constantly. That's because he can't sit through a 3-hour movie, and you got to get to a certain age to do that. And 2 would be fucking big time stoners, like they want to just, all right, let's get on to the next thing, something like that. Someone that's drugged up, like that's legitimately it. Like, those are the 2 types of people: children or drugged up.
There's one more.
I have not talked to a person yet, and I've talked to Batman to a bunch of people that, like, legitimately, Al was the only other person that didn't really care for sitting through Batman, but he also said he didn't like Infinity War because it was too long. Well, why? Because he always wanted to fucking go out. He legitimately can't sit. He can't sit and play poker for an hour. He has to fucking get up and go smoke, chill somewhere else, go to somewhere else, go back, smoke and stuff. It's just how it is. It's like, that's the only person that I've talked to that wasn't a huge fan of Batman or Infinity War, because they're both 3-hour movies. Well,
Yeah.
because you constantly need to get fucking stoned.
There's another group of people. People with ADHD, aka every single person in this house I'm living with right now.
They didn't like the Batman.
The ones that went to watch it, no. They couldn't sit through it all the way. They have attention span issues. That's part of ADHD. They cannot focus on a movie that long.
It's just
Just
put
like
a little peanut butter on top of the movie screen. They'll stare at it long enough. Or is that only with dogs?
I know. Well, hell, Aegon doesn't even like peanut butter apparently.
Well, he's a husky.
Yeah.
He's gonna be picky. He's not a lab like we've had in the past. They'll eat just about fucking anything. They're garbage cans.
Yeah. Let's say those.
But-
Oh, what's this?
Alright, my rating real quick while you're paused. I have it a little lower than you because I rate cringing a lot harder because I do not like cringe comedy. And I know it was trying to be comedic, whatever, but it was cringe comedy and I'm not a fan of it. Like I can't watch 21 Jump Street or any movie with Seth Rogen. Like, god damn it, that guy sucks. And that's the thing. Cringe comedy is not my thing whatsoever. So I did a 7.
Oh, I'm saying
I
mine
think
was
it was a
7.5.
better. Yeah, but yours was 7.5 to 8.
So I'm leaving at
I'm saying-
7.5 now. Because since I defined 8 as amazing. No, I'll leave at
And-
7.
10 is like something you can't count something out to the normal viewer. And like a 10. And that would be like the Batman was a 10. The only thing people can say is, oh, it was too long. And I'm like, that's because you either have, like what you said, one of those 3 things. And that's it. Either child, ADHD, stoner. Legitimately has to do something else. Like, so I definitely would say 8. I would say is great movie. 9 is like a movie I could watch 3 to 5 times in theaters, and a 10 is like there is nothing wrong with this movie. I will buy it in every sort of fashion, like Blu-ray, whatever. Even though you don't have to buy it, they get with all the streaming shit. But legitimately, 10 is like the holy grail, and there's Marvel's nailed at least 3 of them. But
What's up?
7 I would say is a good movie, but has flaws for sure. And that's what this movie was. If you took out the flaws, I could put this movie at like an 8.5. I don't think I could ever get it higher than 8.5 if you took out those flaws. If I wasn't so against cringe comedy. I'm into dark comedy, like, for God's sake. I can't do cringe comedy, and that was a whole lot of cringe comedy.
Yeah.
So 7's good movie. Storyline.
No, I said this was
Hold on one second. Mark is calling me. I don't know if he'll have you playing too, so I'm gonna mute myself on this and then answer him real quick. So
okay. I guess to the stream, how you enjoy. Well, I know no one's actually watching the stream right now, but to anyone watching the YouTube video, what did you think of Thor: Love and Thunder? Have you seen it? Hopefully you have seen it before watching this video. It literally is going to be titled having spoilers for Thor: Love and Thunder. Okay, so please tell me you've watched it already. Oh. He accidentally ended the Discord call. Or maybe he could hear what I was saying. But yeah, let me know what you thought of it. What was your favorite character, least favorite character, favorite scene, least favorite scene? What do you think of the art style? What do you think of the direction they're going? Was it too cringy? Was it not? Do you think that they should have went ahead and kept the Mighty Thor alive and keep Jane Foster alive? What do you think about the direction they're heading? What do you think about love, the character, not about the emotion? Yeah. Answer all those questions if you want. All of them, any of them, one of them. You can even just tell me to fuck myself in the comments if you want.
Alright.
I'm assuming
sorry,
you could go ahead and hear me.
The call for a moment there.
Yeah, you could hear me when I was talking?
Yeah, I could hear you while you were talking and Mark was asking stuff and so on, whatever.
When you...
So.
There's... On Discord, there's two options for audio changing it. There's mute, which mutes your own mic, lets you still hear other people. And then there's deafen, which makes it so that you can't hear anyone else at all. And it cuts off both your mic and their mics for you.
Okay.
Okay, but as you were saying?
All I remember was me saying 7 for the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was saying remember, I'll put 5 as like it was a movie, meh. It was a decent movie. 6 is a good movie. 7 is a great movie. 8 is.
Then I would have to bring it down to a 6 then, because in your rating I'd have to bring it down to 6.
No, 6 is like, 7 is good movie, 8 is great movie, 9 is amazing movie, and 10 is perfect. So it's 6 would be like, 7 would be good, and I put it between good and great. It's in that range. It's 7.5.
It's just you're probably just not judging as hard as I am. That's the only reason because of the cringe comedy. I think it obviously if you really like Anywhere, whatever, All at Once bullshit.
No, I hated the cringe stuff. I hated those moments. They actually pulled me out of the movie, got me less immersed in the movie when it came to that. Yeah. But the thing is, the way they did the characters.
If you legitimately said, how would you rank the character? Like, if this movie was only based on the character, what would you rate this movie? I would say it's a 9, because I think they shit the bed with Zeus. I think, like you said, with the sun god dude, he was pretty goofy. And other than those two, I can't really think of a character that was bad or even unsatisfying in the whole movie. So I would have to rate it 9.
Yeah.
So other than that, 9. And if it was just based off the characters alone. But that's the thing, the characters, character development, the plot, everything, great. You're striving for a 9, 9.5, and then you just fucking smack me with 8 to 10 minutes of the 2-hour movie of just, God, do I want to just go take a piss now instead? Or go get popcorn or something. Anything to get out of here. Like, legitimately, I was like, damn, I wish I had a bag of popcorn so I could just say, hey, I need to go get a refill. Or something. Like, I had no excuse. Like, you're actually looking for the exit. That's so.
But there was one definite thing that they did with this movie that raised up my opinion of it a bit more. Probably the reason why it's a 7.5, not a 7, is because of how much they focus on setting up the future. Because one thing you mentioned is like you want them to continue with Chris Hemsworth as Thor for as long as possible. Yes, they are doing that. There's no chance of killing off Thor ever. Because it's very important for them to have it's very hard to get a character or a actor or actress willing to play a single character for a long time. Willing to play a single role for a long time. And they've lost multiple people that would be doing that already. They're not going to have. They lost Black Widow or Scarlett Johansson. They lost Robbie Downey Jr. as Iron Man. They lost Chris Evans as Captain America. Those characters are not going to be coming back. Right now, the ones that are willing to continue going on, from what we know, are the characters for Loki, Thor, and Loki, Thor, the Hulk / Bruce Banner, and Hawkeye. Those are the characters that are continuing for so long. But of all of them, the only one that I know for sure has went into there's only two characters, or two actors rather, that went into interviews and said, I love playing this character, this is an honor, I want to continue doing this for as long as possible, as many movies that they're willing to do. And that's why those two characters are going to receive as many movies as possible. And that's Chris Hemsworth with Thor. He's going to keep on receiving movies. He's going to be the lead for the Avengers when it comes to being out of or off Earth. He's going to be the lead in that. And then the other actor is Tom Holland for Spider-Man. He's 100% for doing as many Spider-Man movies as they can offer him. That's why I've told you before, I believe they're going to go for 9 Spider-Man movies. 3 for his high school years, 3 for his college years, and 3 for his adult years outside of college when he actually runs his business, is the leader of the Avengers. I believe they're going to give him 9 movies, stretching out the actual full span of Spider-Man. They're going to do that because those 2 actors are just that valuable right now. Hell, even the Guardians of the Galaxy, when they were at one point when they were talking about getting rid of the director for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, getting rid of him so he won't be able to direct it and switching out, a few of the actors and actresses of the Guardians of the Galaxy said that they would not continue playing the role if they did that. They would just leave. And that's one of the things.
If I'm correct, I think that's Feige. Feige or something like that, that's his name. I could be totally wrong, but if that's him, he's done like 7 or 8 of the Marvel movies in the MCU. So obviously that, he's been killing.
Yeah, but Dave Bautista. I don't know if that's his actual name or not.
It is.
Okay, but he was one of them that said he'll quit playing Drax's Destroyer. He'll quit playing him immediately if they get rid of that person. And that's the thing. I don't think there's anything, or getting rid of 1 or 2 different actors or a director or anything like that would get Tom Holland or Chris Hemsworth to actually quit just like that. They are in for that, or playing those characters for as long as possible, and that's what Disney and Marvel wants the most right now. They want those characters, so they're getting as many movies as possible. So Thor is going to keep on getting movies. That's what.
If I'm correct, he's supposed to get 1 more movie before the next Avengers. That's supposed to be in 2026. It was supposed to be 2025, then COVID happened, so 2026 is now supposedly the next Avengers movie. And
we'll see.
Yeah, it could be even later than that. It's not going to be soon. Yeah. I would really doubt if they said, "Oh, Avengers movie." There got to be something that smacks them together a little bit.
Yeah, because right now they haven't exactly been setting up, but rather there is only one. No, there's only like 2 options of what they can do. Oh, 3 options. There's 3 options for what they can do for the next Avengers threat that they have technically started setting up. And I don't think any of them is actually a good option. For the current Avengers that are on Earth, the only options that they have for the threats that they have, that they could have as a big threat for the Avengers Phase 4 is number 1, the one set up in this movie, Hercules. They can set him up as the next threat. But I don't think...
I will take a guess. I know what movie will give us the answer. I will take a guess. I know what movie it will be.
Fantastic Four is going to give us the answer, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. Whenever they do that, they don't even. until the net one, they had the picture and everything that came out with all the movies they want to do. Fantastic Four was not even a movie, and they with the before this next Avengers, unless they obviously went over there.
They didn't have the next Avengers when they initially announced Phase 4 and all the movies in it. The last movie on the list was the Fantastic Four Phase 4 ending movie. It was the Fantastic Four logo, and that's what they referred to as they essentially Fantastic Four. Either they're going to be introduced in the next Avengers movie, or they're going to be a Fantastic Four movie, and then they're going to be brought in to the Avengers during the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But
alright, but the movie that I think that will tell us a little bit about who's going to be the next one, in my opinion, is going to be this next Black Panther movie that comes out, I think, during this year. I think it's going to be like November, December. I could be wrong.
It is coming out this year.
And I know one of the villains.
Don't tell me
that
anything.
Does get.
I don't know anything about the movie yet.
No, I don't know a damn thing. I just know something about Black Panther.
Oh, what?
So it's just, I know Black Panther and stuff like that, with all the technology and stuff, they're big into the continental plates and everything. Who is a mad scientist guy that wants to shift the tectonic plates and fucking do whatever he wants with the world? And is super fucking powerful too.
Who?
Fantastic Four related.
No. If they do Doctor Doom during the next Avengers movie, there's an issue. Because
I do agree with that too, but I think they will hint towards it.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I really have no idea what else is for Black Panther. Because now it's not Black Panther, it's going to be like with the sister and everything, and
we don't even know. No, we don't know if she's taking over or not. We don't know who's taking over at all.
Well, she's the face of the cover of the movie, so I'm assuming it's going to be her.
We'll see.
Yeah, but I'm assuming she will be.
Okay, but what I was talking about was the next threat that they've been setting up. So far, they've set up 3 options, and all 3 of them are bad options for the next Avengers threat. I said the first one was Hercules. There's 2 reasons why I think that's a bad option. One, by himself, he is strong enough to take out, or Hercules should be strong enough to take out all of the Avengers that are currently on Earth, except for Shang-Chi, in all honesty. He's the only one that could actually fight him. And that's just because the power of the 10 rings are that strong. But, because Hercules, we think of Hercules as a demigod, half human, half god. But in the Marvel comics think of him as demigod as well. But in the MCU, there is no such thing as a demigod. You're either a god or you're not. And Hercules is a god in the MCU. So he is going to have full-fledged god powers. The current people alive on Earth could not handle Hercules right now, in my opinion. So I think he's too powerful for the current Avengers right now. But he could make a good threat. The other reason is because every single big threat that happened in a Marvel movie had one very strong threat and then an army on their side. Hercules does not lead an army. He's just Hercules. He is just one person. Ultron led all the Ultron bots. Loki led all the aliens. Thanos both times led all of his army of aliens throughout the universe. He led all that, and every single time they had that, Hercules doesn't have an army. I don't feel like he could actually be the best for a threat like that. Now, option number 2. Oh wait, actually, what's your opinion on that option? You think that's a possible threat?
Yeah, that's gonna be the next Thor.
Yeah.
That's one of the next.
That's what I'm thinking
That's
more
gonna be a Thor
likely.
movie.
The
That's
next
a Thor.
Yeah.
Well, Hercules looks a little goofy and all that, and all. So it's like that seems like a Thor thing.
Yeah.
Um.
The next option that I think could be for them, and this is a very weird one in all honesty. Vampires.
I hope not.
They are setting up with Morbius. They're setting up with the Eternals when they had Blade show up at the very end. They're setting up towards having vampires. And that's
I hope
like-
that's bad. That's
yeah.
very a bad option.
But that's more likely going to be one of the threats when they do the Dark Avengers or something like that, where they have the Blade and all the other ones that are more prone to killing and doing things brutally. That's probably going to be along the line. But they are setting up towards doing vampires. And then the last option, because I know you always said that's a bad option, I agree. The last thing that they're setting up that could be for the next phase, or for phase 4, and I think this is a horrible option, the Sinister Six. I know the very first thing you're probably thinking is, didn't they just do Sinister Six? They did not. They had 5 villains, and with that being said, one of the villains at no point in it was... Oh, it was 5 villains, but when it came to the end of it, it was 4 villains fighting... It's always... The Sinister Six is 6 villains versus Spider-Man. Just one Spider-Man versus 6. In the Spider-Man movie, it was 4 villains versus 3 Spider-Mans. Another one of the villains is along the side with Doc Ock, and they had Doctor Strange. So it was 4 against 5. It was not the Sinister Six. They weren't the Sinister Six. There was only 5 of them anyway. But they are setting up to having the Sinister Six come in, and the Sinister Six would be a great. They could do Avengers versus the Sinister Six. With they have Scorpion in the universe, but they haven't really set up anything about him except that he exists. They have Vulture, kinda. He's in a different universe right now. They have Morbius, again, kinda. He's kinda in a different universe. They have Venom just showed up in the universe, so that's an option. But that's 4 of the villains are currently existing. That could be them. They could be setting up for Sinister Six coming in to be the next one. But I know what people have said is going to be the next one for Avengers, but they haven't set up for it in the slightest. And that would be
What's that?
the storyline known as Secret Wars. Secret Wars, I can't. I won't summarize right now because I don't want you to actually be spoiled with it. But big things that happen. It's one of the storylines that results in Spider-Man getting his black suit, the Venom suit. So yeah, that could align up with what's it heading to, but they haven't really set up anything for Secret Wars, in all honesty. So yeah, they're not the only things that they've set up for villains are for far, far in the future, not for this next one. Unless you count the 3 bad options I've come up with. Which technically they could do Sinister Six and have the lead big threat in the Sinister Six be Hercules. That would be goofy, stupid, horrible idea, but would make more sense than
I got a good one. I got a
either
good
of
one
them.
with the Sinister Six.
What?
Doctor Doom running the Sinister Six, and at the end of the movie, you find out they were working, basically working for him, or something like that. So it's leading into, how in the first Avengers movie,
Yeah,
and that
it was
post-credit scene, they showed Thanos' face.
everyone
it's,
was working for Loki, but then it turned out even Loki was working for Thanos.
Yeah, and then so like if they did like a Sinister Six kind of thing, and then Doctor Doom was behind it or something, that would be, I think, a big game changer, and they could slowly build that up too.
Yeah, 100%
I think
agree.
that would be solid.
But here's what
I would actually be excited for that.
I believe. Oh, here's the thing: if they do Doctor Doom, they have two options. They do him this Avengers movie, or they do him in a future one later along the line. If they do it this Avengers movie, they have two options again. They have Doctor Doom win or lose. If Doctor Doom loses against the current Avengers, then once again they portray Doctor Doom badly. He is a huge threat, Thanos, Galactus level. He's actually, I believe he's one of the few that literally killed Thanos by himself in a one-on-one fight. And I think it was instant, like an actual instant death. Doctor Doom had Thanos had no chance against him. That's how strong Doctor Doom is supposed to be. Master in martial arts, genius in technology, literally a ruler of his own country, and has all the magical powers, even probably surpassing Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. He is the big threat. If they have him lose in Avengers, the next Avengers, then they did him wrong. But if they have him win, then they've decided that the Avengers must lose twice in a row. And they did him right, but they did the Avengers badly there. So I don't feel like they can have Doctor Doom be the next big threat. They need to set him up, and they need to set him up well over a while, over the years.
Honestly, I really want to see another thing with Daredevil.
Yeah.
I need to watch season 3 of Daredevil, so I know what happened towards the conclusion. So.
Actually, that reminds me. You could toss in one of Daredevil's villains. Oh, you can toss in Kingpin into the Sinister Six as well, because he is a villain for both Daredevil and for Spider-Man.
And that's an army. Anything behind Kingpin's an army.
Yeah, which that would make it now that there would be 5 Spider-Man villains in the MCU, if you do not include Bullseye. But I haven't seen if Bullseye is actually in there yet. I know Bullseye is supposed to be in Daredevil season 3. I don't know if he survives it or not. I don't know anything about that, but
I have no idea about that.
he could be number 6 as well, and that makes 6 already. But yeah, they have the villains. They have enough villains for Sinister Six if they want that. But I know they're not aiming for any of those 3 options. They're supposed to be aiming for Secret Wars. I don't know what they're doing with that.
Let's be honest. They could do Avengers versus the Punisher. So.
We just lost a bunch of Avengers. We don't need to lose more.
Have you seen Punisher season 1 or 2 yet? Or have you just seen him in Daredevil?
Just in Daredevil, but I know he gets even more brutal in Punisher.
Oh, I saw Punisher season 1. I've seen some parts of Punisher season 2. He's a beast. He is a beast. And obviously the actor that plays him is fantastic. He is an awesome actor.
Yeah.
But he is not exactly PG-13 whatsoever.
Well, that's putting it lightly. Okay, I just realized what time it is, so I think this is we have to head out. So
sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, well I'm eating anyway, so that sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. See ya. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that stream, everyone. I know I've left the screen without a game of balloons playing for a while, but the main point of this stream wasn't really the gameplay, it was just the conversation, the discussion, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now, once again, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, leave a comment, let me know. What was your opinion on Thor, Love and Thunder? What was your opinion on the characters? What do you think of, what was your favorite scene, least favorite character, least favorite character? Where do you think they're heading in the MCU? Or rather, I should say, the MCM, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. Because it's no longer the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's a Marvel Cinematic Multiverse now. Where are they heading in this? Please let me know what your opinion is. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.